Greetings. I'm Pastor R.A. McGee of the I Can Church here in Newark, Ohio. The I Can Church is I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Philippians 4:13. And today I would like to start with a little story. A 4-year-old boy had told his dad that he had a stomach ache. The father suggested, well, maybe because it's empty. You'd feel better if you had something in it. So he gave his son an apple. A couple days later, the pastor came by to visit, and he mentioned he had a headache. The little boy responded, well, that's because it's empty. You'd feel better if you had something in it. So my question today is, what do you have going on in your mind right now? What is in your head? You know, we all worry about jobs, our bills, family issues, family sickness, health, depression, sadness, lonely, confusion. You know, we're worried about world problems, everything going on. And everything just kind of, everything I just mentioned is a real worry in our lives. But what does it help to worry? So what should we have going through our heads? So let's go to Philippians 4:8-13. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. So think about all the good things Paul's telling the Philippian church to look to. 9th verse, those things which ye have both learned and received, and heard and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. So Paul's saying we have to be that example to each other, but we have to train ourselves to think in those terms. Because it's easy to get pulled to the bad side of stuff, pulled to the worry side of stuff, because that's just our nature, to worry about things. We want things to go a certain way, and so we worry about it. So let's go to this 10th verse. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein ye also are careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Now that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. Now think about what Paul's saying there. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith be content. So to be content in any situation. To be content when things are going wrong. To be content in God, because knowing God is going to be there for us to help us through, we should be able to be content. And I know that's a hard thing to swallow. I understand that. I know both how to be abased or brought low, and I also now know how to abound. In other words, to be on top of the mountain, on top of everything. Everywhere in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So that leads up right to our scripture verse for our church motto, you can do it. I can church here in Newark. So we just have to think about what God is really trying to tell us and what Paul's telling the Philippian church. So think about problems. Everybody likes to get away from their problems. We'd all like to be millionaires. We'd all like to hit the big lottery, thinking that's going to cure everything. But the truth is, the only thing money cures is money problems. Our problems with our way of thinking about things, things going on out in society, troubles in the family, none of that stuff is going to be helped by money. And to give you a good example, I've got another little story. So how do you handle problems? Do you run from adversity? Do you try to hide? Well, here's a lady's name was, I won't say her name. But after the Hurricane Andrew devastated Florida in 1992, a South Florida resident was standing in the line waiting for food. She decided then and there she was going to run away as far from this problem as possible. She boarded the first available flight and headed for a restful vacation on the Hawaiian island of Kauai. She arrived just in time to experience Hurricane Iniki. Running from your problems usually just leads to more problems. So she trying to escape one hurricane and gets caught up in another thinking she's going to be on vacation. So, and that's the way it is in life. We can't run from our problems. We shouldn't worry about our problems. We should just cast everything on Jesus and let him take care of our problems for us. Oh yeah, it's awful hard. We can't escape. We can't get by. We're in this world till death. We'll be going through tests and trials our whole life because that's how we're made, through Jesus. 1 Peter 5:7, casting all your care upon him because he careth for you. So Peter's telling the church, cast your care upon him, on Jesus. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth about for you. Be sober. So here's Peter telling the church, be sober in this text means have your wits about you. Think about what's really going on in your life. Be vigilant. Be awake. Be watchful. You see things coming along. You understand them. Why fret and worry about it? Just turn it over to God. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Our adversary, the devil. Not people, not our family, not even world events going on. Our adversary is Satan. He's the guy behind everything going wrong in our world. So, seeking whom may devour, whom resist or oppose, steadfast, to stand solid, to stand stable in the faith, Peter's telling us. Knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are out in the world. In other words, everything that we go through, everybody's going through, except we have somebody to go to. And it tells us here, but the God of all grace, who hath called us to his eternal glory by Jesus Christ, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish and strengthen and settle you. So God is going to help us through. He's the guy that's really going to make a difference in our life. So what are cares? Cast your care upon him. It's through the idea of a distraction, casting all your cares upon him, for he careth for you. So as a distraction, be to anxiety, uneasiness, because he cares for us, to be of interest. He's concerned. It matters to God that we are successful. So our adversary in this text means our opponent, as in a lawsuit. So imagine going to court and the devil sitting across from you in a lawsuit. So what do we have to do? We have to prove God's ways and prove Satan wrong so he is found guilty of what he is. He is our adversary. So what do you have going through your mind? Just remember, an empty mind is a waste. Fill it full of God. Don't worry about all the things going on out in the world. Don't worry about all the confusion, the sadness, health, depression. Casting all your cares upon Jesus, and he will take care of us. So we have Sunday morning services at 10 o'clock, and more than happy to have you here. And if you want to contact me, my number is on our Facebook account. So God bless.